Hi, it's been a minute. So I am currently making my lunch. I am gonna make a wrap, so I'm just chopping up some vegetables. So I have spinach, I have a cucumber, I have what was that called? Bell peppers, and I'm also gonna put in some olives and jalapenos. But I have just had such a whirlwind of like last week, and my energy has been a little bit all over the place. So for those of y'all who first of all, let me ask, are any of y'all into astrology at all? Because I am. I am not an expert by any means, but I am familiar with certain, you know, when moon phases and when planets are moving into different signs and whatnot. And we are currently in a Mercury retrograde, which I feel like a lot of people have probably heard that. And we're also in a Venus retrograde. So yeah, double dose of the retrograde of those planets is happening. You know, and it affects you differently depending on like what those planets, how those planets are placed in your chart. And for me, I think I'm currently going through like an opposition of both of those planets in my natal, you know, like in my natal chart. But anyways, say all that to say, the energy has been weird. We also had an eclipse last week. So I'm definitely feeling the recalibration that comes with you know, the shifting of the planetary bodies in that way. See, if you don't listen to or if you don't know anything about astrology, you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? And I don't blame you. Like, if you know, you know. But anyways, I am just very aware of those things, and it just helps me move through the world differently, so I don't get upset about things. For me, I know how. Okay, so for example, Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules like communication and like technology and stuff like that. So during a Mercury retrograde, you may find you have issues with technology and communication. So things like that happen. And so when those things pop up and I'm aware that we're in the retrograde, then I don't stress out about it. I'm like, yes, that's what the energy is right now. And I don't fight it anymore. Another thing with Venus retrograde, Venus is like the ruler of like love and pleasure and things like that. It's been interesting because I can tell there's like, how do I explain this? It's almost like the roles my husband and I have swapped. Like, I don't know quite how to explain it. I feel like, how do I explain it? Like, you know, we usually go about our days, you know, in certain ways, and there are certain like tasks that normally he gravitates towards and things that I gravitate towards, and there's been a little bit of a shift. And it's like, normally this is the thing that I would be doing, but you know, he's doing it this time. And so my energy is shifting to, you know, not to accommodate, but kind of, yeah, it's just really interesting. But anyways, I've just had like a busy week last week, and then I went out of town. I went to go visit my parents and had a wonderful time. My cousin had a fun like game party thing that was so much fun. I got to see family I haven't seen in a really long time and spend time with them. So it was nice and beautiful. But anyways, let me like catch my breath for a second. What I know to be true is that I cannot force myself to create during certain times, because the end product ends up not being what I like. And then I end up being like, well, why did I even waste my time doing that? And so I had that energy big time the last week or so. And I was like, I have all of these things that I am working on that I want to, you know, push forward, but I couldn't. The energy was like, I was stuck. And, you know, going back to retrograde, whenever we're in a retrograde, it's a time to reflect, to reevaluate, to just like all the words, you know? And so when I remember that, I'm like, okay, let me just take a breath. Let me just slow down and not push forward because the energy just isn't there right now. And so, something else that I realized that I have been missing, because I've been going through the motions. You know, I've been taking care of myself the way I usually do, going for my walks, working out, eating the right foods, all those things. But I was missing something because I was like, why can't I feel like there's a disconnect with something, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And it is nature. I am somebody who absolutely loves nature. I love going for walks in nature. Over the weekend, my parents live on 3 acres of land, and my mom has a beautiful garden. And oh my gosh, I am also someone who loves a routine, but man, last week really shook me up, and I was able to find the joy in the change. Normally I would have been like, I gotta work out before I go on this trip, blah, 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 you know, but instead of that, I'm like, you know what, let me just go try and enjoy it as much as I can. And so I went there, and I just went, and I was present, and I did work out. I actually worked out in my parents' backyard, and I was like doing burpees like in the grass, and like, oh, the grass was so soft and like lush, and it was just such a nice feeling compared to like the standard workout that I normally do just in my room, you know. It's not green out here where I live in Central Texas compared to over there. But oh man, today I went to a little park where my kiddo had soccer practice, and I obviously haven't been there in a while because soccer's over, but what a difference in my mood and how I feel when I take care of myself in that way. So there are just like certain things that need more attention than others sometimes, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I just have to be cognizant of that. Yeah. So what else? And there's just a difference in the energy. So I'm able to get on here and just record a video and be like, yeah, hey, look, hi, I'm here. Whereas if I would have tried this any time in the last week or so, it just wouldn't have flowed. I would have like tried to re-record, you know. I'm really trying to get into the space where I just put it out there as authentically messy as possible and just let it be. And that's just how it is. And yeah, I find that there's like kind of a beauty in that too. So I don't know, that's just me. Anyways, I'm gonna finish making this, and I am going to eat my lunch, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.